In this episode, it's going to be part 2 of our spooky Halloween special, where we're going to talk about our haunted dealership yet again. Stay tuned for this episode of Down Payment.
Welcome to Down Payment, the podcast for used car dealers. Prepare to learn something new about the industry that keeps us moving.
Check out all our podcast content on our social media channels. We are at Down Payment Podcast on YouTube, Down Payment Podcast on Instagram, and Down Payment Pod on X. Welcome back, and we're going to welcome Charles back for part 2 of our spooky Halloween special, talking about our haunted dealership.
Hey, back. We're back
You're
again.
back, you're back.
We're back again.
Well, we saved the best for last in this talk about our haunted dealership. So in the last episode, if you missed it, you got to catch it. We talked about the most haunted collections department in America.
Absolutely. Without a doubt.
That haunted, windowless, like commercial attic that you worked in for years.
At 10 years.
That's crazy.
10 years. No light. No direct light. Nothing. It was just a closed room with a lot of doors. We had no idea where they went to.
How did you not go crazy?
I did go crazy. That's why I was there for 10 years.
You did. That was not the worst part of this building, though.
No.
There was actually a part of the building that was way worse. And you felt it when you crossed the threshold into it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So we only we leased for the dealership. It was basically 2/3 of the square footage of the building, I would guess. Mm-hmm. But the third that we didn't was like the leftovers of a dozen different businesses that used to be there. And to get in, at least from the inside, the interior entrance to this area had 2 bizarre residential French doors.
Yes.
That you would never put in a commercial building, but it had these French doors. Mm-hmm. And it opened up to an area that, for the most of that area, the lights didn't work.
At all?
Yeah, most of the area, the lights didn't work at all.
I never went back in that area personally. When we started moving, I did. But the entire 10 years I was there, I never crossed that threshold.
You're kidding.
Mary did, Angelica did, Jesse did. Charles never crossed that threshold.
Oh,
that
you were
scared the Jesus out of me.
Oh, you felt it when you walked into it.
But you could feel it sometimes walking by those windows. You could feel it just didn't feel right.
It didn't. You had to carry a flashlight. It was just like, this bizarre, Scooby-Doo set. You had to have the flashlight because most of the lights didn't work back there. And the deeper into it you got, the less, none of those lights worked. So you were truly dependent on a flashlight. There was not a light switch you could turn on back there.
And it was so full that you had to walk around and through stuff to get back in there, right?
Yeah. It was it was like lined up for the garage sale from hell. It felt like you were walking into the portal to the Upside Down. It was that weird, and the darkness that would wrap you in it was the super eerie. And as you went deeper into it, because there was a breaker panel we would occasionally have to access.
Right.
And you went into this inner area. I don't even know how to describe it. It was an inner area where none of the lights worked. And there was a stage set up. And there was seating for the stage. And, there's all sorts of weird stuff, but it was this mix of like children's stuff and medical stuff and then like theater thrown in.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And there was like stuff written in foreign languages. It was the most bizarrest thing.
Was that where the elevator was?
No, the freight elevator was kind of along the outer wall.
Okay, that's where, because I was with the freight elevator, and that was another scary place. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so you hit this area and you go like, what the hell went on here? Like you look at this and you're searching with your flashlight. You never could get a full picture of the room. And it was a big area, but you would be looking around with your flashlight and like, what have I walked into?
Yeah.
It was bizarre. And then you had that freight elevator, which was along an outer wall outside of this area.
Mm-hmm.
And the freight elevator would take you, it worked. And it would take you to that bizarre, like attic area.
Attic, that big empty kind of really big room that was a little bit weird also.
With concrete angled walls.
Yes. And that was right outside the collections office. To that door we never opened. Yep. However, you could hear things back there in that big empty room all the time. I mean, it would be like people were knocking on the walls, but it was cement walls, so we don't understand how we even heard that.
So it was that door between the collections department and that like weird attic area, right, that I thought I was hearing opening and closing when I was working there late at night. That was the specific place where I thought I was hearing that door open and close. This should never, ever open and close.
I'm going to tell you, we believe that door opened and closed also.
Really?
Because you could hear the doorknob jangle. Sometimes it sounded like people were knocking on it. And I wasn't. This was right in my office. I was not about to touch that door. At all. Until I think the first time we were back there was when the roof caught on fire.
Yes, that's another creepy thing about that place. Like, that place caught on fire so many times. Like, I think we had three fires on that roof?
3. On the roof, yeah. But when the RV in the back burned up, it didn't touch the building.
Yeah, we had.
And it was right up against the building. The building looked unscathed.
It would not burn.
But that was the morning of the fire. We thought they were kidding. They
That's
said, please
crazy.
evacuate the building. The building's on fire. We laughed because we couldn't hear anything, and all of a sudden, this little voice that we knew screamed, "Would you get down there? The building's on fire!" And we went, "No, it's not real." Because it was summertime. We weren't worried about it. We were not moving. and then somebody opened the door and said, "The building really is on fire. Get out and get out now." And we went, "Okay, maybe it's right. Okay." And we left. But yeah, that was the first time that we were back in that big empty place with that door. That door, people would jangle the doorknob and there'd be nobody there. And we were not going on the other side of it at all.
So once I felt in that back area, looking through the French doors, I thought I saw someone back there. So I went and got the key like I was going to chase someone out of there. And again, never found anyone.
Well, there was somebody back there. I believe there was somebody back there.
Or something.
That's for sure. Because that room, just standing in that hallway would be very unsettling sometimes. And especially at night, when it was night and it was snowy and it was cold and we didn't know it was snowy or cold, but you'd walk downstairs and you could feel the drop in temperature and you said, "Oh, it must be snowing." But sometimes it wasn't snowing.
Yeah. Oh, it was. So yeah, the drop in temperature was one of the weird parts. Like you felt this like coldness.
Well, it's the windows. It's okay. It wasn't the windows and it wasn't okay.
That freight elevator area, I had one thing to add about that area. where it was all, the building changed at that point in time, and it was all of a sudden, it was all concrete.
Yes.
That looked like the scene like out of a horror movie. Like if you were to like hold someone hostage against their will and like chain them up, that would be like the place that someone would do that. It was
absolutely.
It had this weird like torture chamber like feel to it.
Yes.
In a building that also had, it would have been, just downstairs from there is a bizarre theater.
You could hear things through the walls when there was nothing to hear. But it would be like something bumping against the walls. Downstairs, upstairs, in the owner's office, you could hear things in those walls, and they were concrete walls.
It was such a weird place. And I gotta say, I am glad that we had this conversation years later.
Yes.
After we moved out of there, because we moved out in 2020.
Yep. Well, you just reminded me of something, though.
What's that?
That everybody felt something because you guys had, and you reminded me of this, had the priest come in to bless the place because it was so weird. It was so unsettling.
We did. We had a priest come. My mother brought in a priest, not a superstitious person, and she was like, we need to do something about this building.
And that was the day that convinced everybody that we were just not crazy upstairs, that we had been hearing things, because the door opened and in comes the priest, and you went, oh, come on. And then came your dad, and then your mom, and then you, and we went, this is serious. This is when we need to leave. And Lenny just said, no, you're fine. You're fine. We'll leave. No, you're fine. She didn't understand we wanted to leave because we didn't want to stir nothing up. We're getting along fine with them entities up there. We didn't need anything else. Oh. No.
My mother, not a superstitious person, was like, we got to do something about this building.
Absolutely. And that was it was a very unsettling place. It really, really was. And
it was. That was the thing. Is you felt it like in your heart, like there's something wrong about this.
And the later in the year, when it started getting dark, we would hear all kinds of things in that building, and we would say, no, there's an explanation. Well, sometimes there wouldn't be an explanation, and we would just say, okay, everybody just hold on, because we don't know what we're going to go into. We don't know what we're going to go through. The building could be in a movie.
Oh, absolutely.
And nobody would believe
like movie set for.
Yeah, nobody would believe it's the same movie.
Yeah,
it's the same building. But it was. We had some really good times in that building, but it was also sometimes it made you want to hold your breath and say, okay, what's next?
There is no doubt.
Else is coming.
I have to go back to what we were talked about at the beginning of this this 2-part series. That place should have been the haunted dealership mansion, haunted house. I don't know what you call it, but that was its true calling.
And we would have had to put no spider webs, no demons, no anything, because they already lived there.
No decor required. Like literally, come here, step through these French doors, like you're gonna scream.
and there were doors everywhere that for the entire 10 years I worked there, we had no idea where they went.
Oh, it was a maze. It was a maze.
There were doors everywhere, and that makes me a little bit nervous because you couldn't open them, you couldn't close. Oh, it was just a little bit weird.
That it was.
That it was a little bit unsettling.
That was our haunted dealership.
And I often wonder what that building is like now. Now that we've all talked about it, because I've talked about the ex-employees and other people that all said that building was haunted. I wish I could go back now, but it's 5 years later. Oh, and simply walk through and see how come nobody can stay in business there again.
There's no doubt. Like, well, first of all, I'm not going back to that building ever again. Like, you walk through it, let me know how it goes.
I'm not,
Like, I want no part of stepping foot in that place ever again. I'm not a superstitious person, but I want no part of that place. And shortly after we moved, someone drove a vehicle, crashed right into it.
Yes.
And that was crazy.
Because we made the spirits mad when we left, because we just left them alone. We didn't mess with them. We didn't try to do anything other than the priest. We left them alone. I think that building possessed something. I just like to go back and say, y'all have any experiences? What are you feeling?
Bizarre offices too. I guess my closing thought was, there were some rough offices. The inner office was collections was a rough office, like walled off, no windows.
Yep.
But then our admin office, windowless downstairs, just right down the stairs.
Right down the stairs. Those stairs that kind of went like this. They were straight up and down.
Steeper, like climbing a ladder
steep.
stairs.
And you hear people coming up and down those stairs all the time.
Yeah.
Because it's Mark, it's Lenny, it's Ted, it's whoever. And there would be nobody come in the office.
Yeah, no, I would hear people walking up and down the stairs at night when I was working late.
One of our collectors brought in their rosary beads, had their Bible in the desk, because they would honestly, it was that unsettling.
And then the other office I found unsettling was that corner office at the edge of the showroom. Around the corner.
Around, yeah.
Yeah. That, I don't know why, but that office just had such a weird vibe.
But if you were coming in from the garage or from the parking lot, you had to walk by there. Oftentimes, I swear you'd see people back there. And when Norm was, when the service manager was back there, okay. But even before that and after that, you would swear that there were people back there. And that was another office. I said, I'm not going in. I'm not doing it.
I don't know what happened to that office, but that office had such a weird vibe.
Yes, absolutely. It was a very different place, a very different building, a very different time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm glad that we had this conversation, though, years later, instead of while we were still there, because I would have quit.
No, I may have changed my mind about coming back. But but it was a great place to work, though, because there was never a dull moment. Something was always going on that you could go, what was that? It kept things kind of intriguing.
It did.
It did.
Well, with that, we wish all of you guys a happy Halloween. That was our haunted dealership. If you have been at a haunted dealership or worked at or have a haunted dealership now, we would love to hear about it in the comments. Are we the only ones that had a haunted dealership? I would love to know. And with that, it's been another episode of Down Payment. Check out our podcast on all our social media channels. We are at Down Payment Podcast on YouTube, Down Payment Podcast on Instagram, and Down Payment Pod on X.
Thank you for listening. Down Payment, the podcast for used car dealers, is a production of Meta Financial Services Incorporated.